So what we do is that we're utilizing the leveraged approach, right? Again, the scaling model we talked previously. First, what we do is that we generate attention, right? So we use both three of the methods: the paid one, the organic one. But we use the organic when at level 2, and then comes the personal branding. So we generate attention, in all these methods. Then we gather data, right? So that the people that comes in, we get their emails and all the other data, right? So we can make decision based on that, and we use the data in the predictive analysis, and then we educate the attention, in the communities through the content and through all the stuff that we explained, and then we convert the attention in a proper systematic way, right? And to go ahead with a further breakdown, so for example, we are running ad, right? This is the paid acquisition model. So if we go ahead with this one, right? So for example, we are running ad, right? And then we direct the audiences to the landing page, right? First, and this is what we use to operate, right? We just advanced it a bit, but this is the same model that our client flow was operating a while ago. So and this is we also operate it now for some of the programs, right? So this is the most effective model of the contrarian. So add to the landing page, how you design landing page, this is a separate story. You have to keep everything in proper order, right? So landing page to the opt-in, right? So once someone opt-ins, they put in the email. What happens is that the sitter inbound, reach out within 10 minutes, right? So our inbound sitter, which is there, right? They reach out to the opt-in, the person, within 10 minutes, right? And also we send SMS, right? And 40% to 50% reply of the opt-ins, right, through the sitters. 1/3 of are qualified from there, and 7 to 80% receive booking link, right? The meeting is booked with there, and 70 to 100% book the call, right? That's the one trigger that we run, right? In the opt-in, what we do, we also not just the sitter approach, but this side of the equation is human approach, and this side of the equation is the tools and the system approach, right? So we have automated email sequences. We start fire there. So 7 email sequences that we have, and then what happens is that through the email we also provide to educate the people, right? Nurturing have different email sequences, as I told, and the levels, right? So each level of audiences has different sequences, right? So this is the level 1 audiences, so we have to have a whole different email sequence, right? So for this, the educational sequence is different, and this one different. So email sequence, and we try to get them to the group, right? So Facebook group or the Discord group, right? So once we get them, and the main goal of the email is also to let them book the call, right? So in the opt-in, this whole process repeats, and if someone opt-ins, and they also watch the VSL, because which is the main flow of the funnel. Normally people just go ahead with this and neglect the below part, right? So the below part, the whole game is actually here, right, below what we do now, which is actually squeezing the whole audience that comes through, and then converting each one of them. So people watch the VSL, and then the strategy call, they book, right? And then redirect to the group the group content, right? And then the whole process. So here, when the email, through the email, we also try to build book the strategy call. And in here, for example, when the email sequence starts and we are also redirecting people to the group, then what happens in the group is that we update content and insights for some time, and then we also run retargeting ads for them, right? Because those are the people, they are consuming our content, they're in the education phase, right? We provide them free asset, right? So what the setter do is that they ask permission to send them a free asset, right, which is based on a strong problem. And once the asset, the permission is granted, they take the person and share the asset with the person, right? And after that, they book the call, a walkthrough call. And again, when the person is show up, then what happens is that if they show up, then closer take the call, and the whole closing stuff happen. If they don't show up, then follow-up sequence, we have different emails, right, that fire from there. So, when you think that the person is closed, right? So then the whole onboarding system starts, right? So we have the whole onboarding already automated things, which saves time, like when you automated these type of things. So the whole onboarding stuff starts, right? The whole system accesses and all the stuff. If not closed, then the education phase, right? And the groups, and just have an eye and data of that person, right? And if the person is needing time, then you follow the time frame automation, right? So there's a whole different time frame automation. We might discuss this sometime. So that's the normal workflow that we operate, and that you should operate. And the content channels, email list, YouTube, and social media, right? This is also being utilized for what purpose? When from there the sitters, from there the leads comes in, the sitters take care of that, right? So this is the contrarian approach, where you have the minimum time input, right? So leads and people are coming from 8, which is the highest leveraged, and again the whole system is highly leveraged. There's nothing you are putting in to waste time, right? Highly result providing system. It's just amazing, right? Because we have personally used it, and this system actually generated over 100K in net revenue and profits. Actually, the same system that I used in just 30 days. And so we also tested it for this specific challenge, right? And what we did is that our outbound reached out to 1,500 people, 200 responded, booking 26, actually booked were links sent, here 26, and 9 booked, follow-ups 100, and 1 closed, right? So 1 was closed in the 1,500 reach outs. And in the inbound, we reached out to 250, like the ads were reached out to 250 people to reach. 48 responded, 27 booking links in, 4 booked, follow-ups were 55, and 1 closed in 250, right? So the inbound is 4x more, what we say, inbound is 10x more time leveraged than the outbound based on time and efforts, right? So if you want to go ahead with outbound, that's your choice, but you're never going to scale, right? So don't confuse movement with progress. In the outbound, you think that you're doing movement, that's no progress, right? So you have to realize this is like the whole game. So in the contrarian model, your client pay for their own acquisition, right? So we have a whole system based on how you operate on self-liquidating offer, right? When you join that, then the whole effect of the model that I shared with you, at the end they pay for themselves, right? Because again, you're charging high. So you can email to our support for ads launching checklist and other SOPs. Yeah, we'll provide that. So remember, volume negates luck in our game, right? So the more volume you have, the more data you have, the probability of failing at certain things really diminishes. So success in our approach comes down to 3 fundamental factors. Your time, are they contrarian too? Your team, are they contrarians too, right? It also depends on the team performance, the tools and the systems, perfectly executing the value flywheel, data, and unique insights. These are the 4 fundamentals that you have to take care of in the whole client acquisition retention game. So will you pay us $2K per month to give you unique insights and data on the best client acquisition channel and methods, offers, and data-driven volume reach out? And so would you pay us? If yes, you can DM in the community, right? It's something that I just wanted to add, because these are the things that no one is offering and no one can offer. It's really very few people of contrarians are offering. So yeah, just have a touch on retention, because obviously the model that we have is also the core basis of retention. So there shouldn't be any confusion in retention. So the quality of your prospect dictates the quality of your product or service, right? We have already explained it. Make sure you go after the rich ones, otherwise you will face big problems. Is the crowd is operating on small level, So there are more problems. So you have to reach to the people who have the budget. Remember, create your own audience and then your ideal clients from those audiences. How you create your audience, we explain it in the audience creation phase really well. So retention is the right execution of the process once a client is closed, onboarded, right? So when you do everything like the onboarding process, communication, expectation from the beginning, right strategy, superstar content and team, leverage systems and tools, high quality content, time-based breakdown of task, reports tracking, automation, wins, records, being upfront, result first, speed. And when you do all these things the right way, you will retain the client. So like these are the inputs. You have to take care of the inputs like at the end of the day. So if you take care of these inputs, the output is retaining client, which will, you can easily do that. Now you are a contrarian growth creator. With all these strategies and everything that we discussed, I think that you have understood everything, and now you're best in the game, in the top 1%. You are lethal to the crowd, right? You are now showing path to the crowd and show them the way. Yeah, making over 100K a month within 4 to 6 months, right? You can easily do that with the strategy that we explained, and with the model, and with the mindset, and with the approaches, right? So the game has just started, and you have just accomplished level 1. It's time to proceed to level 2 if you really want to play it at the next level.